Hi, my name is Susan Stiles. In 2017, I was diagnosed with late onset episodic ataxia type 2, which is EA2, and spinal cerebellar ataxia type 6, which is SCA6. I do not have episodes or attacks with EA2, as mine is progressive, and I do not have enough CAG repeats to qualify for SCA6. Both of these ataxias are associated with the same gene, CACNA1A. So I am between both of these ataxias. In this video, I will be referring to my diagnosis as just ataxia. What is ataxia to me? Ataxia to me is a rare movement disorder, not a disease, in which I have poor muscle coordination, as my brain, body, and nervous system are not coordinated with each other, and it was not safe for me to walk without assistive devices. Also, I have issues with speech, swallowing, eye problems, headaches, and fatigue. I think that my ataxia is idiopathic, as I could not find any specific cause of ataxia, which is acquired through a stroke or a brain injury, or getting it from one of my parents genetically, but generally I've had ataxia all my life. None of my family has been diagnosed with ataxia or even had similar symptoms as me, but I'm still on a quest to find the reason why I acquired ataxia. And this is what ataxia is to me. What was life before ataxia? All my life, I have been clumsy, but didn't know why. I kept falling down without a moment's notice, but just got back up and went about my business. I had speech issues when I was younger, as I was unable to speak clearly, not loud enough for people to understand, and kept repeating myself on what I just said. So it was just easier to listen than to speak. In school, I had to wear orthopedic shoes so I could walk correctly, and I had to take a summer reading class in comprehension, as I needed help in memory skills. I felt like I was different among my peers, just went along with the flow with my everyday life until I discovered why, which was many years later. That was what my life was like before I got diagnosed with ataxia. How has ataxia affected me? I see life a lot differently now. I have learned not to be judgmental and to empathize with others. I've accepted my diagnosis, but it was a challenge as I missed running, walking, and bicycling that I could not do anymore. My speech has been affected and tend to talk slower so I can get my thoughts to come out better. Sometimes I would wake up in the morning with a major headache, but then it goes away as soon as I get busy, and at times my eyes get blurry, and eventually it clears up. Due to my wide gait, I don't walk anymore, as I kept falling down and injuring myself. So now I use a manual transfer chair, using my feet to move around. I feel like I have more control of the wheels when I use my feet, as it keeps my legs as strong as possible for when I use my trike and vibration power plate. I'm grateful to have a husband, sons, and a granddaughter who support me, but it was not easy for them to accept me as my life was changing around them. This is how ataxia has affected my life. What are my social activities? The majority of the day, I was on my computer and cell phone to keep in touch with the outside world 7 days a week. I needed to do something more, but felt I was alone and didn't know how to reach out to people. Then in April 2020, I found Dr. Terry Boyle. She operates the SCA6.org website, and I signed on to a Zoom call with Dr. Gomez from the University of Chicago, and he was doing a birds of a feather with other SEA Sixers. I realized I miss connecting with people in a social atmosphere, not just the research part. So I started to host Zoom group meetings every week with SEA Sixers, and now it has expanded to all Ataxians, and it still is going strong several years later. The name of the Zoom group is called Ataxia Resources and Discussion Group, and I love it. Another social activity is my husband and I are members of the Lions Club, who help the blind and hearing impaired. So hosting the Zoom group and the Lions Club has made my life interesting and fun, as it keeps me active in a positive way. What type of exercises do I do? Since I miss riding my bicycle, I bought myself a trike and go to the local high school's parking lot whenever the weather is nice to ride around. Instead of running and walking, I use my stationary bike, vibration power plate, and go to the gym about 2 or 3 times a week to keep my body in good shape and my legs strong. Also, I swim at a local pool and take horseback riding lessons. Yay! I'm willing to try anything that doesn't demand me to walk. By keeping myself in good shape and my legs strong, it makes me feel really good. Exercise is the best thing to do when you have ataxia. Do I raise ataxia awareness? I raise ataxia awareness to my family every chance I can get. Also, I raise ataxia awareness to my family and friends on Facebook and participate in a lot of Facebook ataxia support groups. At times, I do fundraisers through my birthday and rock and roll events in my area so that the money raised can be donated to the National Ataxia Foundation for their research to help them find a cure for all ataxians. Also became an ataxia advocate on Capitol Hill, discussing important legislation affecting and impacting the ataxia community in a big way. And this is how I raise ataxia awareness. Do I have advice for other ataxians? My advice is to keep on moving and get busy with the things that you want to do, things outside the box. A busy person gets things done faster, has feelings of accomplishment, and do not let ataxia define you. I am hopeful that there will be a cure someday within this generation or next, as there are so many resources now, more than it was over 20 years ago. And every day we are learning something new. What are my concerns for the family in the future? Thus far, I'm the only one in my family who has been diagnosed with ataxia, so I'm hopeful that this gene will stop and end with me. I don't know what the future will be, but want everyone to live life to its fullest in everything that you do. And to let you know that our voices can be heard and you're not alone. We have each other and we are all in this together. This is my ataxia story.